Opening scene May 8, 1945. The war in Europe is officially over. But outside the shattered German city of Darmstadt, the war has not yet ended for everyone. In a dusty open field, 38 women sit silently on the ground. They wear worn gray uniforms of the former Luftwaffe Auxiliary Service. Signal operators, radio clerks, radar assistants. They are between 18 and 29 years old. Some volunteered, some were conscripted. None of them fired a weapon. Now they are prisoners. Their hair is cropped short, their insignia stripped away. Their faces hollow from hunger. They have not eaten properly since February. Their last ration, 3 days ago, was watery soup and a slice of coarse bread. They wait quietly. German women were taught not to speak, not to cry, not to expect mercy. They have heard the stories. They expect shouting. They expect punishment. They expect revenge. The unexpected order, but the Americans surrounding them are not shouting. A young U.S. Army lieutenant steps forward. His name is Daniel O'Connell, 24 years old, from Texas. Barely older than many of the women sitting before him. In the last month, he has seen too much: concentration camps, ruined cities, starving civilians. He looks at the women. Some are barely older than his sister back home. He pauses. Then he turns to his sergeant and gives a quiet order. "Bring the kitchen trucks up." The smell that changed everything. 10 minutes later, 2 field kitchens roll forward. And then something happens that the women do not understand. A smell spreads across the field, not smoke, not burning ruins, real food, coffee, frying spam, powdered eggs. Fresh biscuits baking in field ovens. The women breathe in and freeze. Some begin to cry silently, afraid it is a trick. They have not smelled food like this in years. The first plate Lieutenant O'Connell walks the rows with a clipboard, asking through an interpreter if anyone is wounded or sick. A few hands rise. He marks them carefully. Then he does something no one expects. He fills a mess tin, scrambled eggs, 2 butter-soaked biscuits, a thick slice of spam, a spoon of peach jam. He walks to the first woman in the front row. Erika Mueller, 19, from Hamburg. She stares at the food as if it isn't real. The lieutenant smiles, not cruelly, not proudly, and says softly in broken German, "Essen bitte." "Eat, please." Her hands shake. The tin rattles. She takes 1 bite of eggs, her eyes close, tears roll down her face. She whispers something the interpreter barely believes. "This is the best food I've ever had." The lieutenant doesn't understand the words, but he understands the look. A field becomes human again. He moves to the next woman. Then the next. Within minutes, every woman holds a full mess tin. Some eat slowly, afraid it will be taken away. Some eat too fast and choke while crying. Others don't eat at all, pressing the warm tin to their chests, rocking gently. Ruth Becker, 21, from Munich, spreads butter thick on her biscuit. She hasn't tasted butter since 1942. She licks the knife clean. Then she breaks down completely. Elsa Kleiner, 27, a mother of 2 she hasn't seen in 2 years, sips real coffee with milk and sugar. She whispers dank again and again like a prayer. Silent witnesses, the American soldiers watch quietly. Many have sisters, wives, daughters. One GI slips a Hershey bar to a girl nearby. Another passes down a pack of cigarettes. Soon the air fills with smoke, chewing, soft crying, and silence. The field no longer feels like a place of surrender. It feels human. Conversation without judgment. Lieutenant O'Connell sits on the ground with them. Through the interpreter, he asks where they are from, what they did during the war, whether they have families. The answers come slowly. He does not judge. He tells them about his little sister in Texas learning to drive a tractor. The women laugh, small, broken laughs, but real ones. Night falls. Instead of interrogation trucks, blankets are handed out. Real wool blankets. They are told they will sleep in a barn with straw and a roof. Before they leave, each woman receives a small paper bag. Inside, 2 Hershey bars, a pack of Lucky Strikes, a tin of Spam, and a handwritten note carefully translated into German. It reads, "You were doing your duty. We were doing ours. The war is over. Welcome back to the human race." Signed, 87th Infantry Division, United States Army. The memory that never left many of the women keep that note for the rest of their lives. Some fold it into Bibles, some hide it in drawers. Erika Mueller frames hers. In 1949, she marries an American soldier and moves to Wisconsin. Every Christmas, she bakes biscuits with too much butter and tells her grandchildren about the day the enemy fed her. Ruth Becker opens a small bakery in Bremen. She perfects American-style biscuits. She names the shop Dank 1945. Elsa Kleiner finds her sons alive in a displaced persons camp. The first meal she cooks for them, scrambled eggs and spam. She cries while they eat. Closing reflection years later, historians will count borders, victories, and casualties. But none of those numbers explain what truly changed that day. Because peace does not always begin with treaties. Sometimes it begins with scrambled eggs, buttered biscuits, and a young lieutenant who chose mercy. Food had no uniform. Hunger did not care who won. Kindness did not ask which side you served. It simply arrived when it was least expected. Final line, strong ending. Whenever they smell coffee or taste real butter, they remember that field. They remember hands that did not strike, but offered. And a quiet voice that ended the war not with victory, but with humanity.